My teacher called my dad a runaway in front of the whole class. He passed away in Afghanistan 2 weeks ago. Mrs. Wilkins was handing out progress reports when she got to my desk and stopped. Parent-teacher conferences were that night, and there was a sign-up sheet attached to every report. "Where's your form?" she asked. I pulled a note out of my backpack, my handwriting, because my mom couldn't get out of bed long enough to write one herself. I handed it to Mrs. Wilkins and watched her eyes scan it. She looked up at me. "So your mother isn't coming?" I shook my head. "And your father?" I felt my stomach drop. I pointed at the note. It was all in there. She just had to read it. She didn't. "Your father couldn't bother to show up either?" She said it loud enough for the whole class to hear. Typical. Some parents just don't care about their kids' futures. The room went quiet. I felt 30 pairs of eyes on me. I tried to speak. "My father can't," she cut me off. "Save the excuses. I've heard them all. Deadbeat dads always have somewhere more important to be, don't they?" She dropped my progress report on my desk. "Maybe if your father was more involved, your grades wouldn't be slipping. A C- in English? You used to be a B student. I used to have a dad." A kid in the back row muttered something. I couldn't hear what. Mrs. Wilkins didn't hear him either. She was on a roll now. "I see this every year. Absent fathers, struggling kids, mothers making excuses. It's a pattern, and I'm sorry to say it, but you're becoming a statistic." My hands were shaking. I reached into my backpack and felt the fabric. I'd been carrying it everywhere since the funeral. I couldn't leave it at home. I couldn't let it out of my sight. I pulled out the folded flag and set it on my desk. Mrs. Wilkins stopped talking. The flag was triangular, stars facing up, folded exactly 13 times, the way they do it when a soldier doesn't come home, the way the man in uniform folded it before he handed it to my mother and said, "On behalf of a grateful nation." The room was completely silent. Mrs. Wilkins stared at the flag like she didn't understand what she was looking at. I watched her face change as it clicked. He was in Afghanistan. My voice came out steady, which surprised me. He died 2 weeks ago. An IED hit his convoy. They couldn't even send his body home in one piece. Someone in the class gasped. A girl in the row next to me started crying. The note said all of that. I looked at Mrs. Wilkins. "But you didn't read it. You just decided who he was." She opened her mouth. Nothing came out. "He deployed 4 times. He missed 3 of my birthdays, 2 Christmases, and my middle school graduation because he was protecting people he'd never meet. And you called him a deadbeat." A kid in the front row had his phone out, recording. I didn't care. Mrs. Wilkins's face was white. I didn't know because you didn't ask." I picked up the flag and held it against my chest. "You just assumed. You looked at me and my slipping grades and my absent parents, and you made up a story that made you feel smart." The door opened. Principal Hernandez was standing in the doorway. He'd been walking by. Based on his face, he'd heard everything. "Mrs. Wilkins." His voice was calm, but his jaw was tight. "My office." Immediately. She didn't move at first. She looked at me like she wanted to say something. An apology, maybe. An explanation. I didn't give her the chance.